How's it going, everybody? This is Jeff again with Small Fox Wargaming, and I'm here with my friend Antz, and we're going to talk some more about Age of Sigmar and the upcoming event of Hammerfest. Hammer! Sorry,
That's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, we got to get that out of our system. You got to get those hammers out.
It's going to be a fun event.
Yes. So, Antz, you're going to the Age of Sigmar Hammerfest at Warzone Houston. You're still bringing Gloomspite kits, right?
Yep, still rocking the kits.
So you're doing your list is going to be Gloomspite kits. You're bringing Trogherd as the battle formation, right?
Yeah, so this is going to be a little different than what I did last time. Last time was I'm forgetting what the detachment was, but it was the one with the wolves. Basically, it gave them extra AP whenever they charged. This time around, it's going to be all about the Trogs. We're going to be able to heal the start of the turn, and then every time they fight, they'll get to heal. So they're just going to be this massive wall that the enemy is going to have to try to get through.
That's cool. So, like, every time you fight, you get to heal D3 per that unit, right?
Right. And then at the start of the turn, depending on if it's one of the smaller Trogoths or if it's one of the bigger characters, you can heal anywhere between D3 or D6 wounds.
Oh, that's pretty nice, man.
Yeah.
So how many, can you bring back, significantly a turn? Are you looking at 1 to 2 guys a turn? Or are you looking at, a big guy a turn?
So whenever you're healing the units, it'll just heal the model that's damaged. If you use it's called the rally effect or rally ability at the beginning of your turn, you'll roll 6d6, and then for every 5 up, you can spend that to bring back a model if you have the right amount of wounds and stuff like that. So this is for the Trogherd. It's going to be mostly healing the models I still have left on the board.
Oh, okay, you're not going to be interested in trying to bring a model back like you can do with CSM or you can do with Necron and 40k.
I can, but probably not for the Trog models, just because those are going to be 5 wounds apiece. But I will be using that for the the goblins and stuff that I'm bringing. Make those as annoying as possible to deal with.
Okay. Yeah, I can see how that's a problem. It's hard to bring 5 wound models back in any game. So
yeah. I mean, just look at Necrons. You're going to have a hard time bringing back their elites and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. You can usually just bring back a mob of warriors, and you keep a wraith alive every now and then.
Yeah.
So, in this attachment, you're going to have 3 drops, which is a general's regiment, Troggoth. The Troggoth King is your general, Dank Lord Trogboss, and then you have Monclin Stabs, Rog. I can't say their names. Rog,
Moon Clan, Stabas, and then the Rockgut Troggoths.
Yeah. So, what does this Troggoth King do?
So he actually has some really funky stuff on him. So at the beginning of your turn, on your turn, you'll roll 3d6, and you'll consult a table, and you can pick one of those dice to have its effect, and it's just really random stuff that can happen. So either on a 1, you're going to do damage to yourself. Thankfully, because you're going to have 3 to choose from, you don't have to take the damage. But it could be anything from giving him a 5-up feel no pain to Trogs around you get an extra attack, or -1 to hit and shooting to help them climb up the board fast or a little easier and stuff like that. So every turn he's going to give out different buffs to models around him.
Would there be an instance you take the damage on yourself for anything, or is that just a random thing they put in there to see if you like to gamble against yourself?
It's definitely a gambling aspect because he brackets once he gets to. Let's see. So he has 16 health. Once he gets down to 10, you lose one of your dice. So it comes down to 2 dice at that point. So if you happen to roll 2 1s, and you're kind of out of luck, and you have to take that damage.
So eventually, you just have to be stuck with what you get. You can't really get out of it.
Yeah, pretty much. It'll start degrading, and you're just kind of you roll to see what you get, and you can't really choose after that.
I got you. How do the rest of these units in your first regiment help the Troggoth King survive?
So my hope is to have the 20-man unit of Stabas, the Moon Clan Stabas, have them just run up the board as a screening unit. I'm not too worried about melee because Trug is a beast in combat. He has 6 attacks. He's going to be hitting on either 3s or 4s, always going to be wounding on 2s. His AP or rend is anywhere between 2 and 3, which will pretty much go through most models. And so, like, he's not going to have an issue in combat. It's like shooting armies and stuff. That's I'm more worried about. So I would give him like the -1 to hit in shooting, or get the Moon Clan Stabas up the board. Have that be sort of a target that you have to deal with, or else I'm going to just keep scoring with them. Kind of different like targets and stuff to keep them distracted from the big issues.
I got you. What shooting armies are there in AOS? Like, how much shooting can there possibly be?
So I have yet to go up against something that has a lot of shooting, but I do know Skaven has massive amounts of shooting. They're kind of like orc shooting, to where they just throw dice at you and hope for the best. You have Carrion Overlords, which are like the steampunk dwarves. I believe they have a lot of shooting, which has become a big issue within the Age of Sigmar tournament scene.
Oh, so just putting massive amounts of dice on the table gets you just what you need in this game.
Pretty much, yeah. Other than that, there's a lot of mortal wounds that, through spells and stuff like that, which can be an issue, but being able to heal every turn and during combat should help that.
Okay. So that's your first regiment. And they it's pretty straightforward after you get through that. The Rutka Trogus and the Moon Clan Stabas.
Mm-hmm.
What is the Dankhold Trog boss?
So the Dankhold Trog boss is just another big body that I have up on the list. He does a lot of damage. He'll do 5 attacks, hitting on 4s, wounding on 2s, and then he does d6 damage for each attack that goes through. His thing is that he has magic resistance. So if you target him with a spell on a 4-up, he just ignores it. So that's another way to ignore mortal wounds through like magic, and just makes it harder for you to deal with him in that phase. In combat, you roll a dice on a 4-up. He actually gives more attacks to trogs around him. So he's a buffing unit that's hard to shake.
Okay. Another thing, like in 40K, you can take characters and put them in units. Are these giant characters going with these other units, or this is all a solo act for everybody?
Yeah, so this is definitely a solo act. You definitely benefit from having them nearby. So like all of the Trog King's buffs are going to be wholly within 6. So you have to keep them close. Same thing with the Dank boss. You're going to want him within 3 inches, I believe, of models that he's going to be buffing for those extra attacks. So it's definitely, you want to keep these guys clustered together to get the most benefit. But whenever push comes to shove, they can act on their own, and they do significantly well on their own.
All right, man. So it's kind of like having a Hellbrute in your army. I just want to mention a Hellbrute because, it's been a significant thing in the 40K community lately, and it's just fun to put fun at it. Yeah.
Not sneaking any drugs this time, but
no, but yeah, like just got to poke fun at it, But regiment, your second regiment is a Draga's Dag Shampa. I butchered that name, but
Drog the Sun Shampa.
yeah. I
Such
don't.
fun names.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what language that is. And then the Snarl Pack Cavalry.
Yeah.
All right. So what do these guys add to your army?
So the Snarpack Cavalry, they're really just going to be my cheap objective grabbers. They're 100 points for 3 models. They move 12 inches. They die to a stiff breeze, unfortunately. But they're mainly there to take secondaries, grab objectives. On the charge, they actually get 5 additional control. So they are meant to go in to like the soft body models and just kind of bully them and take objectives from easy targets.
That's not bad. That's actually pretty nice to have soft body objective takers.
Yeah. Drugs though. Drugs is an interesting one because he has the potential to do a lot of damage. Like one of his attacks on a 6-up actually does mortal wounds, just like straight mortal wounds. His thing is he's a debuffing unit. So whenever you're within 6 inches of him, you don't get to use a strategy that lets you get like +1 to your attacks. And you actually are -2 attacks or -2 your hits as well. So he just like debuffs you to the point to where it's hard to hit him or like, his friendly allies and stuff like that. But he can also have you retreat in the same instance that you attack. So say he's next to my Trug, and he does his attacks, but he's on like maybe 2 health, and I don't want the enemy to kill him. On a 4-up, I can just have him move out of combat after he's done attacking. He'll be safe.
Actually, that's really nice to have in your back pocket.
Yeah, it rarely comes up because it's again it's a 50-50 chance of it happening. But when it happens, it feels so nice just to go in, do damage, and just get the hell out.
Does it usually benefit you to do that on your opponent's charge, and then next turn you can come back in, charge again, and do more damage, and hopefully get back out? Or does it only work on your opponent's charge?
Oh no, it happens in either combat base. So yeah, I can do that. I can have them if they charge me. I can do my attack, get out of there, and then do a counter charge. There's some units I'm not taking any this time around, but you can set up movement after that to where they do mortal wounds on their movement phase after that, and then they do an additional damage whenever they charge. So it's a lot of like setup for your turn with him.
Okay, it's a lot of you have to get your go turn in before you use him, and just not throw him out there and hopefully he doesn't die.
Yeah, no, because Drugs is really like a glass cannon. Like he does die pretty easily, but you're gonna want him next to like targets that are like top priority. That way he has that chance to survive.
I got you. So your last regiment is just a web spinner shaman.
Yes.
When you drop this guy, is he like, does he infiltrate? Does he scout? Does he like a lone ops guy? Does he do like cool things like that? Or
No, so this guy, I'm not expecting him to do a whole lot. This was more of so one of the secondaries that I've noticed was being used a lot was it's like intercept treasure or something like that. I forget what the name is, but basically I pick 3 of my units, and for every unit that the enemy kills, they get secondary points for that. I believe there's a secondary that is or used to be in 40K that was similar to that. It was like Marked for Death or something. Basically, when you get it, you're like, okay, you have to kill, this dude over here in my backfield. Good luck with that on your turn.
oh yeah, that's definitely Marked for Death. It's changed a little bit now. Like your opponent picks 3 alpha targets, and then like it's usually the ones you can't kill, and then you get to pick a gamma target for like you get like 2 or 3 points for killing that gamma target if you can kill it.
Okay, so they do make it a little easier.
They made it a little easier, but like it's not really doing much for you. Like instead of getting the 5 or 6 points for killing the main target, you're only getting like 2 points for killing the small target.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you would get 5 points for each of those 3 targets
Yeah.
in this case. And Web Spinner Shaman would be my. You can't see because of the back. There it goes. He would be one of my targets I would pick for that, for them to try and get, because with the enhancement that I put on him, it gives him +1 to his spell casting. So I can use, it's a spell called Hand of Gork. And if that goes off, I can just pick up a unit and put him anywhere within 25 inches and just basically play keep away. So I would be using that to prioritize his safety. But he also has another funky little thing he can do to where on a 2-up, he can just pick himself up and go to the nearest piece of terrain. So he can just constantly like daisy chain through different stuff and keep away from enemy models if he wants to.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's a neat little ability. Hey, a second ago you held up a little card. I'm guessing it's like your data card for the unit.
Yeah, so I have. So it's really handy for Sigmar that they do this. Let's see if you can.
You probably won't be able to. We can catch a glimpse of them, but yeah, it's hard to see.
Yeah, these.
Yeah.
So this has all of your stats on there, and it has all their abilities and everything. And it's just really handy to have a physical reference to go back to.
So here's my question, because in 40K they sell all that stuff, right? But like you guys get it when y'all buy, like when you buy a army box, they come in there.
Sometimes.
Okay, sometimes.
So it's 40K is starting to do this too, to where like if you buy the army box, it'll come with like the codex and then the cards and everything.
Yeah.
That's where I got my cards from. You can buy them individually, but yeah, it's kind of the same way to where if you buy like a starter box, you have to buy those cards individually, unless you get like the
giant army box.
The battalion or whatever they're called.
Yeah. So all right. So in 40K, you know, they you sit there and you buy a codex, you buy the cards, and then like as soon as you put the codex like key in, the cards in the codex become useless because they update it like instantly. Before, like as soon as the army comes out, there's already an FAQ for it. They've already changed the points, you know. So in Age of Sigmar, do they do the same thing? Like, do you guys like, does that useful, or do you just have to use your app the whole time because the army cards don't work anymore?
So they do send out FAQs and erratas, and they'll change the wording on stuff. But I have found that it's definitely much more of an issue in 40K. Because of power creep. I haven't really run into that issue, at least with Gloom Spites in this case. I haven't really seen that issue to where, you know, you buy the cards and then immediately there's, oh, hey, we didn't think about this interaction, so we're going to have to change some of the abilities around. It's just like little clarifications and making the wording easier to understand from what I've gathered. Nothing too major. So the cards still work even when there's updates to the app.
Man, that's so much better. But
yeah,
now that I've derailed that conversation a little bit, so the last thing I see in your list is obviously you're bringing your faction terrain. You're going to bring the giant moon shrine again, right?
Yeah, no, that's always a good thing to have. I mean, it's free, so why wouldn't you take it? But that's also going to help me bring back half of my 20-man unit of goblins to wreak havoc. It'll bring back 2 of the 3 wolves when they die. The 6-man brick wall that are the rock guts. You know, once those eventually die in like the end game, I can bring 3 of them back just to make it that much harder for you to score. So it's a no-brainer to take it. I know some faction terrain isn't the best, but for Gloomspite, I think it's a necessity.
I mean, if it's free, even if it's not the best, why wouldn't you take it?
Yeah.
Like that just seems weird not to at that point.
Yeah, no, it's one of the aspects I really like compared to 40K, because 40K, I mean, there's terrain, but you're having to spend points for it. And just because 40K is so like terrain heavy with their maps, you're not always going to get the best value out of taking faction terrain. Whereas in Age of Sigmar, a lot of armies actually depend on faction terrain to do a lot of heavy lifting.
Because yeah, like you said in 40K, you have those like Space Marines, for instance. They have those really cool like turrets you could get out there, right?
Yeah.
Like you could put a turret down and all that. But I mean, realistically, when you put it down, you're probably not shooting much with it. Like it's like 100 and something point model you're never going to use in the game.
Or like those the Necron towers that they used to have,
No, they
where it's
still
like
have them. They still have them.
you can still use them.
You can still
The
use
three
them. Yeah,
towers.
those weird things. Yeah, that's a real thing, man.
Like I remember, there were rules where you had the one of the characters that can move them around, but you really couldn't move them around too much just because you had to be without. You had to be outside of like 3 or 4 inches of other terrain, and in 40K, the map is covered in terrain, so you're gonna have
Yeah,
a hard time positioning.
3 or 4 inches is like it's too hard. Like you're gonna get close to the center, and that's probably all you're gonna do.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. Like, or you can just put them in your backfield, and maybe no one can deep strike on you anymore.
yeah. It's just like hope for the best that you not wasting time and points on this piece of plastic.
Yeah, that's probably why no one really brings terrain for 40K.
Yeah.
So, in your list, last thing, are you taking any spells with you or anything like that?
Oh yeah. So the manifestations that we talked about last time, I'm bringing all 4 of them. So you have the wall of spiders that can do mortal wounds, but they're really there just a body block. The I forget what it's called. We all call it the mini moon because it's a little moon that you can move around on the board. That'll give you the buffs from the different moon phases whenever it's not that phase. So I will always have buffs on my Trogoths whenever they're out of that moon phase. The explosive mighty mushroom nuke that we talked about last time, where it's just like dishing mortal wounds out every turn, that's going to come back. I don't know if I'm going to be using the spider cauldron all too much, just because it has to be within 3 inches of the wizard in order for it to do anything. And I'm using the shaman to just hop around, so I don't know if I'm going to be using them all too often.
All right. So you bring in everything, and you make it sound like it's just you're bringing it because you can at this point.
Pretty much. It's another thing that it's like it's free, so why wouldn't you? There might be other options for spells, but these are the spells that I own, so it's just like we'll see what happens with them. They're
Can't
not super important for what I have planned, but I mean they are. They're another tool that I can use.
Yeah, there's something you can just annoy people with at that point.
Yeah.
All right. So now that we know your list, we have an idea of what it does. And the player packet, it says the battle plans. I'm guessing it's the mission is passing seasons. What army or what strategies do you want to use on this mission? And what armies don't you want to fight on this mission?
Okay. So passing seasons, for those unaware, you're going to have 4 different objectives, and they're actually paired up together. So you'll have like bottom left and top right will be one pair, and then top left and bottom right are going to be in the second pair. Um, each round, it swaps between which pair will score you points. So you're constantly having to shift back and forth. Hence, passing seasons. Um, I feel like I can do okay with this one with the wolves. Um, Being able to get the 2 that'll shift back and forth. I'm planning to keep my trugs just kind of in my closest objectives. Hold those so I at least score those points every turn, and then rely on the wolves to go steal the other objective, so I can hopefully balance that out. Um, The only army that I'm worried about running into would be the Gargants, the giants, just because one of those guys is 40 control or 40 health, 20 control. He can, or just one of those models can outscore any unit of mine, several units if I combine them all together. And they are big enough to where they can just sit on the objective and force me to charge into them to try and take it. So that itself would be an issue, but I feel like I have enough firepower this time to where I can um, take those monsters down easier. Hopefully.
So that's the army, huh? The 40 wound army that can camp out an objective by itself and just dare you to charge it.
Yeah, going up against that in Lone Star was very stressful because I didn't have enough to kill anything. I think I got one down to 25, and then the other three were just like full wounds.
You couldn't just like mob everyone against one and then move to the next one. I guess it wouldn't matter at that point, huh?
It wouldn't just because I mean he wouldn't be able to kill everything with just one model. But with this army, it's a very slow moving army. So I would have issues being as mobile as I was with my other army. So basically, I'm trading speed for sturdiness.
So you rather be a tank than be a fast moving creature at this point.
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna try the other way around this time around
Okay.
because I was all about speed last time. I'm trying to shift things around.
All right. Do you think with your last list, if you would have like changed a few models out, you would have had an easier time, or would it change things on this event if you would have brought that same army but maybe added more wolves and took out a couple of other things?
So looking back at what happened in Lone Star, I feel like the secondaries definitely screwed me over then because looking at the scores, all of my scores were very close except for two games. The Giants and then my very first game, which was like the one that was just doing crazy mortal wounds and all this other shenanigans. Everything else was within like 10 to 5 point difference, which if I would have scored secondaries, I could have taken those games. Um, this time around, though, I'm trying a different list out just because I did notice that the Wolves were struggling a bit. And so I don't think that detachment necessarily was the best, even though I was getting by with it just fine. I need something a bit more cohesive, and I feel like the whole trog herd thing is going to be what I'm after.
All right. Trading speed for strength. Not a bad thing at all.
Yeah,
Sometimes it works out really well. And I mean, you just have to play and find out what works better.
yeah, and
Yeah.
this is definitely going to be more of an elite army as opposed to the horde army that I took in Lone Star. So it's there's a drastic difference to the play style for this.
Cool. So now passing seasons is gone. What is grasp of thrones? Of thorns. Thorns.
So this one's actually a pretty easy one. This is you control 5 points if you control an objective. You score an additional 3 points if you control two, and then if you control more than your opponent, you'll get an additional two. So it caps out at 10, but it's your simple hold one, hold two, hold more.
Oh, that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's four objectives, and the territory is like the deployment zone split right down the middle, so there's no man's land. So that is something to consider whenever you're taking secondaries because there's quite a few secondaries that talk about scoring in no man's land, so that's going to be a little harder. But
I mean, it doesn't sound like it'll be possible, but
yeah, no. So like the one on top of my head would be scouting forces. Basically, that one your first set of 5 points is whenever you have three units that are outside of your deployment zone. So it's easier if you have no man's land
yeah.
because you can just tow out of that. With this case, you're going to have to be within enemy territory, and that's a lot further away because there's no man's land, but also it gets you drastically closer to the enemy, which which you don't want for scouting purposes.
That's not. I mean, I hear you. So if somebody takes the wrong secondary, they clearly didn't read the player packet on this one, and it's pretty. It should be an easier game.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be pros and cons to each secondary, especially with these different maps. You're not going to have a one size fits all secondary, but yeah, no, there's definitely this one's going to be tough for scouting forces for sure.
All right. Um, any armies you don't want to play on this one?
Um, Not necessarily. I feel like, I mean, I'm still new to Age of Sigmar, so I don't know what each army does. But this is one of those cases where I feel like my skill as a player will just be what determines how I do.
Makes sense. Nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that, man. You got to go out there and just do your best, and hopefully you win.
And on that point, though, I feel like Age of Sigmar is definitely a lot balanced compared to 40K. I
Oh
mean, we
yeah.
definitely do have our trouble armies, but I mean, Lone Star, you had Gloomspite win the whole thing with nothing but wolves, and that's technically like the worst form of the army. So I mean, anything can happen.
I mean, obviously that might not be the case if you won
Yeah,
the
no
whole thing
kidding.
with
Like
it.
everything I was reading and like on paper, it's like I said, the wolves die to a stiff breeze, but I guess you get enough of them and they're just can't kill them all.
Yeah, it's. I mean, that's the way it is with horde armies. You put enough things on the table, like it's gonna happen. Like in 40K when Manny Chima put like 300 racks or something from
Yeah,
Drukari on the table, like
I
you
remember
weren't killing
that.
that. You weren't. You didn't have enough firepower to deal with that. There's no way.
Yeah, so like with that being said, a lot of this I feel like is definitely more player skill and less, hey, watch out for this army. I don't want to play this on this. Just because of how well balanced GW has been working with Age of Sigmar.
Yeah, I think the only army I've heard about that is like you pick it up and play it, and you pretty much win most of your games is probably Slaves to Darkness because
Yeah, no,
they're high powered elite army, and there's not much you can do about them.
yeah, no, they were definitely an interesting one to go up against in Lone Star. Um, that was surprisingly one of the closer games I had. But it definitely felt like a very like pick up and play, go throw your guys into their guys and like just steamroll them.
Yeah, I was looking into this game, and most of the lists that were Slaves of Darkness were like Be'lakor and most of the horse guys and like a brick of warriors, and that was it. And I was just like, Jesus, that's all you need. Like that's
Yeah,
crazy.
the Warriors turn off the it's called all out attack. I meant to say that whenever I was talking about my list. All out attack's one of the stratagems you can use, which basically gives you +1 to your hits in exchange to worsening your save. But they shut that off whenever they're tagging someone, so they don't even have to fight them. As long as they're within 3 inches of a unit, they can't use all out attack.
Wow, they just shut it off, huh?
Yeah, no. So like Slaves of Darkness is really good
Yeah,
for like debuffing.
it's kind of like Death Guard right now. Just pick it up and play it. You'll probably win
Yeah,
an event.
yeah, definitely.
All right. So we've gone through passing seasons, grasp of thorns, and now it's surge of slaughter.
Surge of Slaughter. That one's another simple one. That's also so you get 5 points for controlling one. You also have the paired off objectives in this case. That you also get an additional 3 if you control a pair. And then if you control more objectives, you also get, you're maxed out 10. So it's another simple one. Um, the pairs are definitely easier to get in this one than passing seasons because you'll have one of the pairs on your side, and then the other pair is going to be on the enemy side, but it's close to your deployment. So it's a lot easier to get to in this case, and you're basically going to be fighting over like the center just to see who gets like to control more.
I got you. You're just sitting there trying to well, since they're so close, you can just deploy on the line and hopefully you get to their objective faster.
So you actually have to deploy 9 inches away from the enemy territory. So in
Uh
this case, you'll still technically have like an 18-inch gap, but there's no man's land, which again makes some secondaries a little harder.
okay. That's not bad. I mean,
Yeah,
18 inches away, most people's stuff moves 6 inches. That's not too bad.
yeah, no, it's not terrible.
No, I think you can live with that one. Any army you don't want to see on this one, or are you still just the only
Um,
army so far you don't want to play as giants?
Giants, but also Lumineth Realm Lords, just in general. I don't want to play them at all just because of their shenanigans. They're the ones that are like high mortal wounds. They can link up attacks with other people or other units. So instead of going back and forth, alternating attacks, they can be like, hey, my guy's going to attack, and then my guy over here is also going to attack.
Man,
Those two are the only ones I've had issues with, but otherwise, I'm game for anything.
oh, okay. So a lot of wounds can't kill, and then mortal wound dealing people you don't want to deal with.
Yeah,
That's fair. That's fair. All right, let's roll into linked ley lines. I
that
probably
one is a
did I
fun
butcher that?
one. Uh, no, Link Leylines is the
Okay,
name of it. Let me grab that. That one I had a lot of fun with in Lone Star. Okay. So yeah, this one you're gonna score 5 points for controlling an objective. If you control two matching objectives, you also get another 2 points, I believe. Oh no, okay. So you control one objective, you get 3 points. You control two or more objectives, you get an additional 3 points. If you control any pairs, you get another 2 points. And then if you control two pairs and the center objective, then you max out your 10 points for that turn. So this one, a lot of the times, especially from what I've seen, you're going to be fighting for all three objectives in no man's land because that's going to be the easiest way to cap out at three. If you want to be ballsy, you can hold your objective and shoot across the board to the enemy objective and try to get it that way. But for the most part, everyone's going to be fighting for the center three.
so this has been a question I've been meaning to ask you. So you have the three center objectives. You have an objective in each like base, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Are there transports to help get you there? Or are you just stuck? Like, can you teleport? Is there any way to move faster besides having cavalry?
So there's no transport, but there are spells that let you redeploy. So like Hand of Gork is a Gloomspite gets one. So where you can pick up a friendly unit within 18 inches of the wizard casting it, and then they can move up to 24 inches outward. So that one's really good for Truggus because they move at 5 inches or 5 or 6 inches. So being able to just like throw them wherever they need to go is really good. There are some like the Sylvaneth. Sylvaneth are really good in mobility because they can place a tree down and then they can just teleport to that tree. And I believe they can also do that to other terrain pieces as well. So they can just constantly teleport in and out of the different terrain all over the board.
So you mean tree? Like, there's an actual tree model that they can just put on the table, or are you just gonna go like find a tree model from Home Depot or Hobby Lobby, put it on the table, and just start teleporting to it?
No, their faction terrain is three trees that they can just put down each turn.
Can you destroy the faction terrain?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so each faction terrain has its own stats. There's some faction terrain that can actually fight back. Um,
I'm guessing
mine,
the weird tree from Death Card or Pox, whatever they're called.
yeah, so
Yeah.
like some of them will have ways to fight back. Not all of them though. Like I think the Slaves to Darkness one can do mortal wounds on like a 5 or 6 up or something like that. I think. Um, yeah, for like the trees, they're just trees that you can burn down. My moon shrine, you can take that down pretty easily.
It reminds you said burned down. I'm just picturing the Lord of the Rings, the two towers, that tree on fire, just run into the water.
Yeah.
It seems like a perfect fit for that description. That's pretty much
Yeah,
what
and
that
it go
army
chopping
is,
the
huh?
trees down.
Just
Yeah, it's just a bunch of like tree elves, like wood elves, I think,
oh,
is
okay.
what they technically are.
And they have the little imp trees running around with them. I saw like one of the
Yeah.
models. It's a pretty nice model. I think it comes in the spearhead, that big tree thing.
Yeah, no, that
Yeah.
thing is fun. It looks like it'd be a fun paint project too.
How big is that thing actually? Like the size of a dreadnought or like a little taller?
Uh, that's about the size of a knight, actually.
Really?
It's a big model, yeah.
It's that big and you're only paying $140 to get the whole group. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, go figure.
That's a steal, like to be honest. I didn't think it was that big. I thought it was a little shorter than that.
It's slightly shorter, but it's definitely like more. It's compared to that more than say like a dreadnought or something like that. It's
Oh,
definitely
okay.
pretty big.
All right. So like bigger than a baby knight, but not as big as a Dominus knight.
Yeah, actually, no, I'm thinking of Dread Knight, like
Oh, okay. Like the baby carriers, the little
the baby carrier. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
about the same
yeah.
size as the baby carrier.
That's still pretty big. Like that's still a big
Yeah.
model. Yeah. Man, that would be fun to paint. It really is a nice looking model.
Hmm.
All right. I think our last battle plan here is Rolling Roots.
That one I haven't played. Mm.
I'm, I hope I'm saying these names right because obviously English isn't my language, you know?
Okay, so rolling routes, you're gonna have six objectives. You're gonna have four in no man's kind of scattered around. You'll get five victory points for controlling one. Three if you control any pair, and the pairs are the four that are going to be in no man's land. And then you cap out if you control more objectives than your opponent. So really, a lot of them are like control one, control two, control more, just in different wording. But this one, let's see, yeah, this one seems like it'd be easy to do as long as you're able to get to no man's land. You're still gonna have to fight for those, but I mean, all of the objectives are kind of close together, close enough together to where you should have an easy time getting those pairs.
It's pretty nice, man. Are you mean like when you mean scattered out, like are you guys scattering the objectives or are they like pretty well placed out?
No, so let me see if I can show you on here.
I can put it on the screen later, like
Yeah, no,
because you're
please.
not gonna be able to see that because
So
your green screen kind of blocks anything out that's reflective.
yeah.
So yeah,
So with the new season, you get these cards that each card has its own like mission on it,
yeah.
but it also tells you how to set up the terrain and the objective markers on.
Oh, okay. So
And
like 40K has with their mission deck.
yeah, so it's like the mission deck, but it actually shows you how to place the terrain on. So instead of like 40K terrain, it's set for like the first day is all the same terrain and the second
Yeah,
day is different. Each mission is going to have its own layout because of what GW designed.
I got you. So it's not a copy and paste thing. It's more of a every battle plan is going to be something different that you have to prep for.
Right.
I got you.
Yeah. But yeah, so in this case, the four objectives in no man's land are kind of like scattering, like you'll have one here, 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 and it's kind of going back and forth in like a zigzag line almost.
Hmm.
And it's kind of like weaving in and out of terrain. So this one has a lot more terrain than the other ones, but I mean, Age of Sigmar terrain is pretty easy to maneuver around too.
Yeah, I was reading over what the terrain does, and like some of it's obscuring, some of it has cover. Um, what's unstable mean? Like if you stay on
So
it, you lose like saves or something.
No, so unstable is just another way of saying you can't place a model on that.
Oh, okay.
40K might have that as well. I know tournament play you don't see that all too much anymore. Ninth edition had a lot of unstable ground, but it's just another way of saying like, hey, your model can't pass through it, but it also can't like land on it.
I got you. So it's just like how you can't like in 40K how they have that area terrain where you can't put a model on top of it, but you can get in front of it. But like
Right,
if like
yeah,
you're a vehicle, you can't drive like you can drive over it, but you can't land on it.
right, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
It's the same thing.
I got you. I got you. So is there anything you're not looking forward to playing on that last mission? You
Um, This one, honestly, even with going up against giants, I feel like this one's probably the easiest one for a lot of people, just because this one has six objectives on it. So,
you don't
this one,
you're not
oh, go
risking
ahead.
a lot, right?
Yeah, no, there's not a whole lot of high risk in this one. So I feel like this one's an easy one to end the tournament with. Just like go out there, score as much as you can, have fun.
I mean, that's really all you want to do, right? Score as much as you
Yeah.
can and have fun. Nothing wrong with that, man.
So we didn't go over these, but I also wanted to bring up the whole underdog and comeback mechanic.
It's
So
is this gonna be like challenges now with 40K? Is it kind of like
no,
that where you get more points for doing stuff?
no, actually, so the way the underdog mechanic works is if you're trailing behind by at least 5 points, you become the underdog for the turn, and each mission actually has specific things the underdog can do. So, like in Roiling Roots, once per battle round, the underdog can select a pair of objectives. And any model that's on that objective, whether it's yours or the enemy's, fights last.
That's not. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah. There's one, I want to say it's Passing Seasons, I believe, or Life Roots. I think it's Passing Seasons that has it. It actually heals up models on the objective the underdog chooses. Like it gives them like three wounds to their health, and it's just a bunch of like different ones like that. I think there's one out that makes objectives obscuring, so if your model's wholly on that objective, they can't be shot at. So it's just different little mechanics like that, and it'll only be for that battle round. So if you're no longer the underdog, you don't get that benefit anymore.
Is there a is there a way to like, as they say, torpedo the whole game and come back at the end just to keep getting these buffs until like you can win the game without having to, exert yourself and your army?
No, so these are just like little like in this case, these are extra tools that they hand you, and it's your job to use them as best as you can. So you won't be able to like score anything with these. It's just like, hey, I, you're having a tough time against this model. You can make it a little easier to kill, and just like different little things like that.
Just so you don't feel like you're getting beat up the whole game, you can actually do something.
Yeah, so it's not gonna be like it's not like a rubber band mechanic. That's kind of like what you were describing, or like say you're in a racing game, like a racing video game, like Need for Speed or something like that, and the cars behind you just happen to teleport and win the game because they're so far behind, or like a blue shell.
Okay,
There's no blue shell mechanic.
I got you.
These are just like little extra tools that you can do.
Ah, okay, nothing crazy, just something to make the game a little bit more fun for you if you're behind.
Yeah,
That was pretty nice. I mean, you don't have to sit there and watch your army get wiped off the table.
yeah, it gives you like extra abilities to kind of help you out if you need it. And it's not like something that you have to use. It's just like, you know, It's there if you want it. If not, then you don't have to use it.
Nice, man. It seems like you have a pretty good grasp of this tournament going forward.
I
Um,
certainly hope so.
what are you looking to do here? Like, what are your predictions? How do you feel like you want to leave this tournament?
Um, Ideally, I would like to at least do 3-2. So like win three, lose two. If I can do better, fantastic. Um, War Dome, which was my first Age of Sigmar tournament this year, I believe I went 2-3, and that was just like basic knowledge coming from 40K, so I have some sort of idea of how to play this game. Um, I want to do better than that. I have a better understanding of what the secondaries are for this new season, so I hopefully have the confidence and the mindset to push through and do well.
Nice, man. It's always good to grow in a game and try to do better every tournament. Do you think
Mhm.
you're going to walk away with paint awards this time?
I hope so. I definitely hope so. Age of Sigmar is just a whole nother beast when it comes to their hobby, hobby skills and stuff like that. Like you saw some amazing stuff. That wasn't even everything that was there, and it's definitely tough competition, but I hope I can pull through.
Cool, man. And do they? Is it just first place for painting, or is there are more places than just first?
No, so it'll be top three, and then best general, I believe is what it's called, but it's like best overall for 40K. So if you have the hobby points, the sportsman points, and the battle points, you'll get a nice award for that.
Cool, man. Is this a golden ticket event?
Yes, but I believe it's only first place that gets it.
That's not bad. I mean, it's still a chance to go out there and go to Worlds.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome if I can get that.
Yeah, everyone chases those goals. I man, honestly, like I think it's a good system, but sometimes like stuff like this just makes it just not fun sometimes to go to an event because you get a lot of people over competing to try to win one of those tickets.
Yeah. Um, Age of Sigmar is still pretty competitive, but it's not as insane as 40K gets. At least from what I've seen, everyone there is definitely um, geared more towards sportsmanship, and I think that's like a big part of why I've been enjoying Age of Sigmar over 40K this year. Just it's a lot less stressful for sure.
Oh, that's good, man. Anything to bring the stress down and just enjoy rolling dice, huh?
Yeah.
All right. All right, man. I think that pretty much wraps up this Hammerfest conversation. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, like we'll be doing another episode soon covering a Spearhead League that I'm in. That's wrapping up soon. And then after that, we should be doing the results for Hammerfest. So stay tuned for that.
All right, guys, you heard it. Stay tuned for the upcoming episodes and good talking to y'all again. We'll see y'all soon.
Yeah,
Have a
see
good
ya.
night.